Thanks to Keen Games for sponsoring this video. Flameborn, welcome back. It's been a minute since we've explored the kingdom of Embervale, but a massive update has lured us back, and for good reason. My name is Kodiak, this is Legacy Gaming, and today we're returning to the world of Enshrouded and breaking down everything coming with the game's huge Update 6. Friends, I am so excited for today's video. If you've been following the channel, you'll know that we covered Enshrouded when the game was first released. We had an awesome time exploring Embervale and building our base, but since then, so many incredible things have happened with this game. We knew then that early access launch was just the beginning, and since its initial release on January 24th, 2024, Enshrouded has seen some incredible changes. In Update 1, players had access to the Hollow Halls, a unique dungeon added to each biome. Update 2 introduced one of the most requested features at the time, player-based quest progression, ensuring that solo or multiplayer, you could advance through the world of Embervale with ease. In Update 3, difficulty was a huge focus with players gaining control over the difficulty of the game. Update 4, Souls of the Frozen Frontier was a big one, introducing an entire new playable area, Albaneve Summits, as well as an increase to the level cap and a new crafting tier. In Update 5, building received its biggest update with a new first-person camera mode and tons of new options for players that wanted to create their perfect base. One sentence per update doesn't even come close to capturing everything that's changed in the game, but that's all old news because I had the chance to dive into Update 6, check out everything new coming to the game, and that is what I'm excited to share. Update 6 is officially called the Thralls of Twilight, and unlike most of the previous updates, this one focuses on the one place every Flameborn fears exploring, the Shroud. There's a couple big highlights here, but I think the one that most players will feel almost instantly is the introduction of new enemies. The Shroud has always been a relatively scary place, but the lack of enemy diversity has always dragged it down some. Well, no longer. Now players can expect to fight flying jelly, critter queens, and even a tentacle and brain enemy, and that's just the start. You really won't know what's lurking around the corner anymore, and that'll make exploring the Shroud a lot more interesting. To go alongside these new enemies are also some pretty stark changes to the Shroud itself, including new points of interest and resources that do dramatically change up the game. Shroud nests are a new location that will look distinctly different and give players new opportunity to obtain loot. There are 42 of these points of interest currently planned as part of this update. You might also stumble upon a summoning stone while exploring the Shroud. When activated, these will trigger new enemy spawns that you can farm for resources. There are 29 of these currently planned for this update. In addition to those new major POIs, there are 22 new abandoned Shroud ruins and 15 new Shroud forges being added as part of Update 6. New enemies and points of interest are just the start, because the Shroud is also getting some tweaks overall that I think are worth mentioning. Found throughout Shrouds across the game will be new destructible slime barricades, as well as exploding Shroud barrels and spores. There will also be new silver level reward chests found throughout the Shroud, as well as a Shroud variation of the jump pad. Like I said in the beginning, the Shroud is the focus here, and I mean that from top to bottom. No matter when you explore the Shroud, it's going to be a rather challenging excursion, but the team isn't really stopping there. A new night gameplay system not only supports the Shroud overhaul, but adds some seriously new gameplay mechanics each night. First and foremost are patrolling enemies that will now roam the world at night, which not only provides a new challenge for players, but opportunity as well, because these enemies will drop valuable crafting resources. One of the cooler new additions to the game are 16 new temples, which each feature a night door. These can only be opened at night and only with a special key crafted from resources that you can only obtain at night. It's a multi-layered system that requires you to brave the horrors of the night in order to achieve the night's greatest rewards. There are also 7 new plants that the team plans to add exclusively at night, as well as a new insect, the moth, which can be captured similar to the firefly. Night-themed cosmetics, consumables, and food are all being planned as well, rounding out the overhaul to this system. Since day one, Enshrouded has featured an impressive lineup of resources to collect and recipes to craft, and Update 6 continues to expand what is already an impressive offering. Given that this is an update largely focused on the Shroud, players can expect around 28 new crafting resources obtained directly from those areas. These will all play a part in creating new items, whether that be armor tints as part of the coloring station, new repair kits for fixing gear while exploring the world, or crafting new spells such as the Shroud Beam or Heal Beam. They'll also be essential for crafting any of the 3 new armor sets that will all feel as if they're part of the Shroud. New updates means lots of new items, that's a given, but this time everything is inspired by the Shroud. The last major thing we have to talk about is the new and long-anticipated weapon upgrade system. Weapon gems are being added as part of Update 6, with 22 different gems planned when the update goes live. Weapon gems can be simple and straightforward, or complicated and unique, but they all add a lot of new layers to the combat gameplay. At the heart of the feature is the Shroud Forge, found in specific locations within the Shroud. There you can upgrade gems, recycle them, as well as slot and unslot gems. As you might expect, gems provide unique bonuses to your weapons, with lower tier gems providing flat stat boosts, and higher tier legendary gems adding much more depth to the established combat systems in the game. To do anything with gems, you need Archaic Essence, a special resource found only in the Shroud, and since you'll be exploring that anyways as part of the new update, it's a win-win. Guys, I am genuinely so excited for this Enshrouded update, not only because it gets me back into a game that I had a ton of fun playing when it launched, but because Keen Games, the developers, clearly have a vision for Enshrouded. You can actually track the growth of the game throughout the last 2 years, and the team is stuck true to their roadmaps that they've released both in 2024 and 2025. Update 6, which is centered around the Shroud, is really huge because it focuses on one of the core pillars of the game. If you've played Enshrouded before, you know that the Shroud is not for the faint of heart, but with great risk comes even greater reward, and that's really at the core of this game. There's always been a lot of room to expand the Shroud, and now, as you explore some of the deepest, darkest corners of the game, you'll run into a number of new enemies, some of which can cause you real havoc. Variation within the Shroud is a great thing, mainly because it keeps the experience unique every time you go beneath the fog. When the game first launched, you'd end up exploring either the overworld or a set of relatively similar dungeons within the Shroud. But with the introduction of some of these new POIs, that experience is going to feel different depending on where you explore. I spent about 10 hours with Enshrouded ahead of making this video because I really wanted to refamiliarize myself with the game, and it's staggering how much has been added across the board. The core loop is still there. You explore the world, harvest resources, kill enemies, maybe pillage a point of interest, and then set down roots. You could have easily gotten lost in the base building when the game first launched into early access, so now, a year plus later, you can only imagine how many more building options you have. Now, I am no builder, but if you look around at people within the community, it's remarkable what they're creating. Enshrouded has just taken all of the systems and pushed them further, and that's what you want from a game that has a fundamentally sound foundation, and is most importantly, fun. What's better still, there is a ton of room to grow, and with about a year left planned in their early access, there is plenty of time for more big surprises and awesome additions to this game. Friends, if you have any questions about Update 6, be sure to leave us a comment in the chat. And if this is your first time checking out Enshrouded, there's a link in the description of the video where you can go and purchase the game. It's still rocking that early access pricing, just $30, and as someone that is close to 300 hours with this game, it's honestly worth every penny. My name is Kodiak, and from everyone here at Legacy Gaming, thanks for watching, and play on.